dude.
Dude, yeah.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Corner. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Sport. And once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. How are you doing today, sir?
Dude, I'm doing very well on this nice hot Monday here. It's you know, it's good, dude. It's good. So
the
excited.
weekend
Summer,
that
dude.
was,
So cool,
and I'm grateful that I had a great weekend despite the failures of the Yankees once again. But, you know, as you know, I was in North Carolina. Jennifer and Chokri, great job hosting me and Sam for the weekend.
I bet it was a chore, dude.
You know, got back late last night, but a great time for sure. Lots of great food, lots of good laughs, Tony, and just so many different areas out there, you know, like newer. I had them on my Instagram story, but you know, just newer like developments with the shopping and the restaurants and like the apartment kind of idea. I mean, just so nice and refreshing, you know, for what we have down here. So definitely enjoyed it. This hat here, this is from Prestonwood Country Club. Did get to play.
Fresh hat though.
But that's where you know, their house.
Oh, you didn't play there?
No.
So it's kind of like stolen valor or something you got going on.
No. I mean, all the people, you know, that I run across on the golf course, a lot of times like they'll be wearing a hat. Oh, did you play Pebble Beach? And like, oh no, my you know, my buddy, he can get apparel or something. So something common. I mean, probably though, I have to say for me, probably the first time I've had apparel from someplace that I didn't go other than the Masters. But I mean, come on, who's actually playing the Masters at this point?
I'll play the Masters too.
No, it'd be great. It'd be absolutely great. Lot to talk about, but we do have some comments first.
Oh yeah, but we have quite a few comments here this Monday morning. People are, you know, obviously itching for downtime content here. But first, it's tough weekend, fellas.
Yeah,
we know that. Michael says, haha, Tony. I would imagine at my it's hot as dog shit in here comment. Matthew says, muchachos, love you guys. Michael, legendary, two of you. Legendary show, so sick. Can't wait to have the whole team go down there to Carolina. And then but first, I dedicate the Wannabe song by the Spice Girls.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, you guys will love the area that they're in. Yeah, so Choker's ready to host us. My sister's riled, so we're gonna make it happen. Only a matter of time.
No Canes game.
No Canes game, and then obviously yesterday a little tough for the Canes, but got the job done on Friday. So you win one in New Jersey tomorrow, and all is forgotten.
How's your boy feeling?
The struggles. Haven't talked to him. You know, it's been a little quiet after the first two games. Sure, yesterday was all jacked up, but you know, I didn't want to hear about that.
Right.
And Chokri says, we had a fun weekend. We need to do it again soon. He was just texting me about the show starting. Yeah. So he's ready to go. He's fired up.
I don't know. He doesn't sound that excited about that the weekend that just happened. I don't
know. No. He had a great time. Of course, Tony, of course. But that being said, a lot to dive into. Let's go now to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it, Tony. Yep. And Alonso cracks one. The Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drill deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So as I alluded to, tough weekend. Both teams, the Mets and the Yankees, lose 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
And especially, I know it was a little different, you know, for the Mets, but for the Yankees, I mean, really, each game they were right there to win. You know, and obviously got the job done Saturday. But the other two nights, and especially yesterday, which we'll get to in a second, it was just pretty disappointing because you just needed a little more. Unfortunately, you couldn't get there. But starting with Friday, Brito on the hill, and like he's done really since those two outstanding first starts, one of them that I was at against the Giants there on the first Sunday of the season. But he only gives them 4 innings. 6 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 2 strikeouts, allows 2 home runs, to Diaz and Arozarena, guys who have, hit well, against the Yankees in the past. The Rays threw out Chirinos. He kept them at bay until the 6th inning where they got some offense going, which gave you the hope, hey, maybe they're going to come back here, maybe a little late rally.
Possibly.
And one big thing, the theme of this weekend for me, the impact of Harrison Bader, was so evident. And it started here. Glaber had doubled, scored Rizzo, so Yankees on the board, 4-1 here in the 6th. And then he hits a 3-run homer to tie the game, towering shot, 436 to left center. So just fresh off the injured list, making an impact. And he was so fired up. The intensity, I think the will, the pure excitement that he had, I feel like that was missing from the team. So big leadership kind of role in setting the tone for the Yankees. Hits that home run. Everyone's excited. Unfortunately, on the 7th, Jimmy Cordero, comes in and lets up a run on a Wander Franco double, and it ends up scoring Diaz because Bowers made an error there in left field. So bad timing there. So that made it 5-4. And unfortunately, Yankees, against Kelly, Poach, and Adams, just managed, 4 hits and, no runs. So that's not going to get a job. Didn't draw any walks. So they end up losing 5-4. So that's how you start the weekend. And it was like, it was nice to see, obviously, Bader, already, because he had struggled a little bit in his rehab starts, but just to come in hot like this and, hit that big 3-run home run. Just kind of wanted to set the tape. He wanted to set the tape, and he did. So, tough loss. You're right there. You don't do it. You understand, though, the Rays at home, good bullpen, and, obviously the way things had been going into this series, 4 runs was somewhat acceptable. Obviously, 3 of them just coming on one swing. But that's what you have for Friday. Saturday, of course, the best day of the weekend, and very, very exciting game. And listening to the end of it, it felt like a postseason game. So starting from the top here, you had a pitching matchup of Domingo Germán versus Drew Rasmussen. And both pitchers, pitched pretty well. The Rays, though, getting the offense going early. Manuel Margot doubling to left field, scoring Wander Franco and Yandy Diaz. They jump out to the 2-0 lead. Luckily, Germán, settles down, doesn't give up anything the rest of the way. And the Yankee bullpen between Wandy, Marinaccio, Clay Holmes, and really one of the feel-good stories of the Yankee season so far, Ian Hamilton, to finish it out here. So they all, you combine all the innings they gave you. It was 4 innings. It was only 2 strikeouts, but it was no walks. So they did the job, allowed a couple hits, but were able to work in and out of trouble. And that's what it's all about. That's what you need to do. And how the Yankees were able to come back here down 2-0, no offense all game. And then DJ LeMahieu, a big double to right, off of Kelly in the 8th, scoring Rizzo, advancing Glaber to 3rd. And then who else? Harrison Bader, who didn't start the game. So here we go. Boom. He just came back from the injured list. He's their best hitter right now. And then he gives him a day off, but he does enter. I believe it was in the 7th or the 6th. Big single here, scoring Torres, scoring LeMahieu. Yankees take the 3-2 lead. Clay Holmes, breezy 7-pitch, 8th inning. Ian Hamilton just allows a double with 2 outs and then gets a pop out, to close this one out. First career save. And I don't know if you're familiar with Hamilton's story, Tony, but he was with the Chicago White Sox, I guess at this point it'd be 5 years ago, just on the bench, foul ball, breaks his face, All of his teeth come out.
No
has
shit.
to have like 5 surgeries, face reconstruction surgery, all that. Released by 5 teams. Yankees give him a spring training invite this year. Doesn't make the team initially. After the first week, they need bullpen help. Call him up. And after this appearance, 1.42 ERA. So seizing the opportunity. This was his first career save.
Wow.
And we've seen Clay Holmes falter in the 9th inning. Obviously, they have Michael King, who's definitely been their best reliever, and as well as Ron Marinaccio, but definitely in the conversation for saves. So that's just a good story that you love to hear. And the Yankees seem to really find a way to develop these bullpen guys, which is nice. So that was just a nice win, and you felt like, all right. So we come back, we get this win. Offense wasn't great this game, but when we needed to, we rallied, we scored runs. You felt optimistic going on to yesterday. You have Garrett Cole on the mound, who's been the best pitcher in baseball all season. The Yankees get off to a hot start with the bats for a change. You start out in the 3rd inning, Rizzo homers, Bader again. So Bader really having a great weekend. 2-run homers. So 3-0 in the 3rd. 4th inning, you tack on a couple more. Hicks doubles, Torres doubles, so it's 5-0. And then you add another run on a Oswaldo Cabrera sac fly. So 6-0 going into the bottom of the 6th. And that's where it just all fell apart. Garrett Cole had been so good. He gives up 2 home runs, including a Jose Siri solo shot. And then, a couple runners get on. Isaac Paredes, hits the ground rule double after, Franco had drove in Diaz on a throwing error by Glaber, kind of messy. So it's 6-3, pitch count approaching 100. And, you could tell Cole's laboring, and they keep him in. Christian Bethancourt, first pitch, slider right down the middle, 3-run homer, 6-0 lead. Gone. So it's 6-6 here. And then there's a little back and forth. You bring in Cordero out of the bullpen. He gives up a run. So now the Rays take the lead, 7-6. You leave a couple guys stranded. But then you're able to score Harrison Bader on a Jose Trevino ground out. So that ties the game at 7. You had an opportunity to score more. You had 2 runners on, and you don't get them in, and that comes back to bite. And then you have the top of the 10th inning, which really got me going. And we were watching this, me, Jennifer Chokri, Sam, right before we went out to dinner before the flight last night. And the Yankees, obviously ghost runner on second. They get the runner over with a sac fly, and Aaron Hicks is the runner, of course. And then Jose Trevino hits a grounder. And Aaron Hicks, of course, caught in the rundown, goes back and forth, though, and is able to get the runner to third base. But, they fall down the pitcher. He gets shaken up. It seems like he drops the ball. Umpire doesn't single out. Hicks freezes for a second, then presumes to get thrown out at home. If he had went, and like I said, I don't know if they would have said he was safe or not, but at least give yourself the opportunity. They don't get the run in. And then just right away, in the bottom of the 10th, Isaac Paredes, with that runner on second, single to right field, scores Brandon Lau, game over. So just a really gut-wrenching loss. After the game, Cole says, no excuses, completely blew it, can't happen. So that just left such a sour taste in your mouth, and it was just how crazy the course of the game, how much it changed. The last half of it, you felt so good. 2 out of 3 in Tampa. Nice, easy peasy 3-game set with Oakland before you get Tampa again at home. Season changing, offense going, and then it all just falls apart. So that was tough. I mean, the one thing that I felt, okay about was the offense, Bader. It seems like Bader has just changed the course of this lineup and has got other guys going, whether that's Glaber or Rizzo. And then you think Judge back tomorrow. So there's hope there. And also, I mean, how many times is Garrett Cole going to implode like this? And of course, and I believe there was a comment, referencing this, but of course, Boone, he sees Cole laboring, bullpen's ready to go, and he leaves him in there, and then he allows a 3-run homer. It's like, listen, I know I'm an advocate of let Garrett Cole throw 140 pitches, but yeah, let him throw 140 pitches when he's dominating. But when he's struggling, there's runners on, you're playing the best team in the league, you got to get him out of there. And
what was he struggling with? Like, was it just location?
Yes, location, and then just giving up hits. So
Yeah.
the combination of that, you're approaching 100 pitches, you're not going to miraculously hone in and give you another
Right.
2 innings.
Yeah, that
It
is
just didn't make sense.
bad management.
And speaking of that, my mom says Boone kept Cole in
Right.
too long. Bad
Bad
decision.
decision.
And I believe do we miss?
Jennifer, yes, says, sorry I missed the beginning, but wanted to shout out the awesome Preston hat and UNC shirt, Brian.
Thank you, Jennifer. Had a great time. She was definitely approved of the hat and shirt. Just
I
kind of
bet.
one of those things, you saw it, Tony, and you're
Right.
like, I have to get this.
What about Sam? Did she approve?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Of
dude.
course. I'm going to run that by her. Why
Oh,
not?
yeah, of course. I'm sure once she saw you wear it in the combo. Oh, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's a home run, of course. But, Tony, come on. Not everything needs to be construed. All right. Anyway.
I wasn't even saying that. It was
Why
just
were you
funny
cracking up?
that
Why are
you
you
said
cracking up?
home run. It's just a home run. That's just a
We're
funny
talking
statement.
baseball. We're
I
talking
know. That's
baseball.
why it's funny. No other reason why. Get your head out of the gutter, Brian.
Oh my God. But yeah, it was hard not to feel it in the gutter, Tony, after this loss, because it's
We're talking
like,
about bowling now?
we're right there and don't get it done. But I want to say versus how it would feel when we, blew like our loss 3 out of 4 to Texas. I don't feel like this because I feel like each game we were right there with Tampa. It's not like they dominated us this weekend. Our offense came to life and was pretty solid the whole series. And I love the impact of Bader. I love the fact that Judge is coming back. And like I said, I really would not be surprised if this type of situation doesn't happen to Cole the rest of the season. There was the first 2 home runs he had given up all season. And even when we're at our best, we've struggled in Tampa. So, it's not going to be easy. Of course, work to be done, and I'll be there firsthand on Thursday, but huge 4-game set with Tampa. You really need to take 3 out of 4. You're only going to play them 6 more times after the weekend. You had a chance to take 2 out of 3. You didn't. So you got to return the favor, take 3 out of 4, and also sweep the Oakland A's. I mean, there is just no excuse to have any trouble with them. I just think it's, Nestor too, he had struggled his last start. He'll be pitching tonight. You feel like it's all set up on a silver platter for you. And it's like, are you going to deliver? You go 3-0, get you to 21-17. Then you take 3 out of 4 from Tampa. You're really working yourself back up to respectability. And you're doing it with a depleted roster, which will get better with Judge, like I said. Sevy, I guess they're talking 2 or 3 more rehab starts as well. That'll be, a welcome addition. And then further down the line, Stanton, so not, I mean, and I'm just kind of curious, Tony, what your thoughts are. Do I have a point here just in terms of the fact that obviously at the end of the day, you're going to be disappointed losing 2 out of 3 games, but the fact that the offense is going, you had kind of a one-off situation with Cole. You showed you could compete with Tampa, that there is hope in a better feel than maybe you had at the beginning of the week.
Yeah, definitely, dude. I mean, again, the Yankees, it's not like the Yankees were like on a roll coming into this series or anything
Right.
like that. And of course, Tampa Bay has now painted themselves as, a team to beat for sure, based on how they started their season and all the kind of tools they have. And like you said, the Yankees, I mean, how many home runs did Cole give up before yesterday? None, right? 1?
No, he hadn't given up any.
Hadn't give up any. Yeah. So, that was bound to happen, at some point where he would kind of have a tough outing, or at least, a rusty spot within an outing. And yeah, there were mistakes made, I think, predominantly like your mother said, like you said, it was an Aaron Boone mistake keeping him in. So, hey, man, that's just kind of like you're one decision away from winning that game yesterday. You're missing Judge. You're missing Stanton. You can't be like, yes, there were some games where you could rely on other guys, like Rizzo, like even
Bader.
Volpe, Bader,
I mean,
to
Bader
kind of pick up the slack
I
here.
mean, and not to interrupt here, but just with Bader specifically, there was a lot of people kind of downplaying Bader, saying, "Oh, I mean, he hit 5 home runs in the postseason. Look at his career splits. He's not going to be that good."
Right.
But I mean, after this against the best team in baseball, kind of shows that for whatever reason, he's been a different player with the Yankees than he was with the Cardinals.
No, yeah, I think he's got a great bat, honestly. He's got quick hands at the plate too. I mean, I'm a big fan of Bader, but like I was saying, you can't rely on these guys every day, day in, day out to kind of pick up the slack of not having Stanton or Judge. It's just not going to happen. So getting Judge back tomorrow, you say, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be huge. And yeah, I know it's still a while before Stanton, but I think just having Judge in the lineup will be certainly big in terms of scoring. So yeah, dude. I mean, it's definitely a bright spot against Tampa Bay. It's not the outcome you wanted, but hey, we're early enough here. It's better that Cole kind of got that out of the way now, right?
Yeah, he had been so good,
and hopefully Boone kind of recognizes, hey, maybe I should have made a different decision over there, in the 5th.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen him. One thing that he's corrected is like over the weekend, he stopped with the whole Clay in the 9th nonsense,
right? Which is good.
I think that's good, and I think too, maybe down the road we revisit it, but I think too, for now he can be, an effective 6th inning, 7th inning, 8th inning reliever, but just let's not have the Chapman heart attack every time in the 9th for now.
Yeah.
We're going to say something?
Yeah. Was there like a mound visit with Cole or anything? Like,
did
Boone come out to talk to him?
Yeah. I mean, I was more tracking on my phone. I watched like the last part of it on TV. So I didn't see that, but I did see that, there was a couple mound visits. But like I said, I mean, he gives up his first home run of the season. Then there's a couple runners on. There's no outs, and there's 2 runners on. Laboring. I don't know. Like, why not bring in Marinaccio? I don't know.
No, yeah, you're right.
Because we know how tough this Rays lineup can be. They lead the majors, I think, in run scores, home runs. So they've done a great job in that respect. And then I really I know it shouldn't be a lot. I mean, they're freaking 8-27, but I know there's skeptics out there. They're going to say, I mean, sure, more than likely the Yankees will win 2 out of 3, but that a sweep might be a little tougher to come by. But I just feel like, and I've seen us, even when the A's have been bad, like last year, struggle in Oakland, but at home, bats finally going, Judge tomorrow. I just don't see how they lose a game to Oakland. Just with the backs against the wall, with Nestor going tonight, Tony, I just don't see how they're going to mess this up.
I mean, I think the only reason how they could is if the sweep anyway is if JP Sears comes out and just is absolutely dealing, dude.
Yeah, but Nestor after a loss, Nestor after a poor performance last time.
Nestor's going to be good. No,
he might pitch a complete game. Honestly, this is a stretch. I think it started on Friday where they have 16 games in a row with no off days. So you want length out of the bullpen.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So JP Sears, loved him when he was with the Yankees, but like everybody that they've traded away, for whatever the reason may be, struggling, ERA around 5. So I do feel pretty good about that in the series in general. So I'll talk more about that in a second. But we'll I know Prefer is riled. We just had our 20-minute Yankee segment. Now he wants to hear
the 8-minute Met segment,
2-minute New York Mets.
Well, there's really not a lot of good to talk about,
besides
obviously. Friday. I guess if you really want to be happy with Friday, I suppose a win is a win. We'll get right into it here. Friday, the Mets do win. Okay. Homestand against Colorado. We know that 3 games, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Game 1 on Friday. My whole big spiel on Friday was, hey, man, we need some length out of Senga. We haven't seen a lot of it. Let's get a clean, long outing from Senga. And that's exactly what we got. He got 6 innings, no earned runs. I think he had only 2 hits. Yeah, 2 hits, 4 walks. But got 4 strikeouts here. As I mentioned, the 6 innings, 101 pitches he threw. Definitely his longest outing, the most amount of pitches he's thrown as a starter as a Met in the majors here. And that's wonderful. I thought, his pitch selection, his location, again, 4 walks. I don't know, dude. And, we can talk about it, but I feel like the umps this weekend at Citi Field were pretty atrocious. In terms of, I get a lot of these pitchers, especially these Met pitchers that throw a lot of breaking balls. It's obviously tough to see, breaking balls sometimes. And also they all try to, like hit the corners of the plate of the strike zone. So I could see why there could be some, whatever. But there was some like egregious calls that was like clearly a strike, called it a ball, some umps being inconsistent throughout the game in terms of, how big their strikes are, stuff like that. But we'll get into that afterwards because it was pretty interesting. But I don't care. Senga did a great job. Did exactly what he needed to do. And then bullpen comes in, does a great job as well. Drew Smith comes in for the 7th, gets 2 strikeouts, gives up 1 hit. I'm starting to like Drew Smith more and more, honestly, because he is locating that fastball. And he's also like our only bullpen guy that throws a fastball, really.
Like you're saying like a good fastball?
Even in general, dude.
What about Robertson? I thought he's throwing 98.
He does, but he hits the curveball all the time, though.
Yeah.
He rarely goes to the fastball.
Yeah.
Same thing with Ottavino, Yacobonis too. Like all these guys don't really throw. It's all like
Is their
cutters.
primary, you're saying?
Yeah. Or even like I think Yacobonis throws a fastball like 5% of the time. Like he has that sweeper that you love so much.
Why is nobody more? Why I've heard maybe one person talk about.
I've heard no one else talking about it. Honestly,
no, but no one else talking about it in terms of where it came from.
Right.
Why does nobody talk about that?
I don't know, dude.
Like David Cohn, I was watching the Padres Dodgers game on my flight back last night, and he was talking sweeper, talking about how you recognize pitches and stuff. And there, I would just think he was like, yeah, I don't know. I've been calling games for a while. Like no one's talked sweeper, and then all of a sudden, every single person has a sweeper. But no, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Is there a sweeper phenomenon, Tony, that you're aware of?
That I know of, dude. It's look, April 19th, article at MLB.com. The hot new pitch that's sweeping across the majors.
Wow.
99 pitchers are classified as having
99?
Yeah, 99 pitchers are classified as having thrown a sweeper since the start of 2022. That's pretty crazy. I guess this guy is talking about this book written or whatever, dude. 21 inches of break to strike out Julio Rodriguez, Shohei Ohtani with the sweeper, dude. Well, Oh, it's really more just like a slider, whatever, dude. I don't know. I mean, I feel like a lot of pitchers in general, I think that's kind of what they're trying to say too. A lot of pitchers just going to different breaking balls in general as opposed to throwing heat. But I don't know. I've heard some guys talk about it, even like I think Lucchesi has like that slurve, that they talk about. And I mean, Keith Hernandez is kind of funny because he's like kind of like it's just a slider, really. Like, so I don't know. I'd be interested to see like what some of these guys like think about the sweeper. If they're like it's still because people are like, hey, well, this looks like a slider to me.
Right.
But anyway, keeping on here with the Mets.
Hi, fellas.
My mother says hi, fellas. Clocks in here in this beautiful morning. Hi, Mom. So right. Anyway, bullpen does a great job. Of staying clean, honestly. So I mentioned Drew Smith, right? Nice in the 7th. 8th inning was Robertson. 9th inning was Ottavino. They do good jobs in, closing out the game. Again, both of them, I don't know. Again, they got the job done. Robertson threw an inning, gave up only 1 hit, 2 walks, though no strikeouts, threw 17 pitches that inning. Kind of struggled again, like locating some of these breaking balls. I think walked the leadoff. I think had a fly out, walked the next guy, then like a ground out, and then I think another ground out after that. And then Ottavino was kind of the same thing where he was like walked the leadoff guy in the 9th. Like, so again, like it's a 1-0 game. It was tight. So you're kind of on the edge of the seat, made for a good baseball, but you just didn't really feel great about this win. The bats were kind of still obviously not that hot. You only scored once. You were 0 for 6 runners scoring position. The one run you scored was a Nimmo home run. Just a solo shot, obviously, in the 4th inning, which you like to see that. But other than that, I mean, again, you're kind of thinking like, all right, dude, like this is a good time for the Mets to reset. You didn't do well against Washington. You haven't really been doing well. I think at this point they lost like, I don't know, 8 out of their last like 11 games at the start of this. So it's like whatever. 1-0 Friday. You're feeling pretty good. You're on to Saturday. And you're like, all right, Senga pitched well. Saturday's coming in here. We got McGill throwing. I feel like his last couple outings weren't great, but maybe we can pick it up. Colorado didn't score anything against you yesterday. You can probably do the same here. I ended up losing this game 5-2. McGill didn't have a phenomenal outing. Again, not giving you length here. 4 2/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. Nogasek came in for him, in the 5th inning, gave up 2 more runs, ended up going 2 1/3, giving up a dinger, a hit. I mentioned the 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks during those 2 innings, though. So that's kind of cool, I guess. But again, starting pitching not looking good. McGill just not having a good day. And again, it seems like his past 2 starts have not been strong, and it started early. Again, like you've seen so many of these games when Mets don't get off to the right foot. Top of the first, I think he gave up like 2 back-to-back singles. You had Blackman and Bryan on base, and then Diaz, RBI single. Blackman ends up scoring here. And again, like it's like bottom of the first. Oh, look, like Alonso grounds out to an RBI. It's 1-1, but then top of the second, we're back here again, giving up another run. So it's like anytime too, a lot of these games where we start off kind of slow, our offense tries to pick us up, and then it's just we go back out to the next inning, we just absolutely blow it. The game had a nice back and forth, but after the 3rd inning, there was no scoring at all for the Mets. And of course, we're giving up runs until the 6th inning, basically, when we got Nogasek out of there. But you'll get our whole lineup. I mean, it was really nothing good. Nimmo, who was hot the first game, was hot the second game, 2 for 4. But after that, Marte, who's done nothing for you, basically, 0 for 3. Lindor was 2 for 4 with an RBI. Alonso was a 1 for 3 with the RBI. Usual suspects there, but then the rest of the lineup, Tommy Pham, 0 for 2. Brett Beatty, 0 for 4. Escobar was 0 for 3. Alvarez was 1 for 2 there. But, really would not generate any offense. Again, another day, 0 for 6 runners in scoring position, left 10 men on base. It's just, again, like over those 2 days, you were 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, just you're not going to win.
You're not going to win at all. So you're thinking like, all right, whatever, Sunday, maybe we can have something good going on here, win a series, feel good. Joey Lucchesi on the mound. Again, another pitcher who, you're not like head over heels for. He had that good start a couple weeks ago, whatever, against the Giants. So he went 7 innings, no earned runs, great. But since then, it's like 5 innings, 2 earned runs. Like yesterday, he ends up going 4 innings, 3 earned runs, gave up a dinger, 3 walks, 4 Ks. Couldn't last 4 innings. It's another day, another pitcher who's your starter,
not giving you length.
And it absolutely destroys your bullpen. You use a lot of bullpen guys on Saturday because of Tyler McGill, and then you have to go back into the bullpen again because of Lucchesi, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. And the bullpen's overworked. I mentioned Yacobonis. He lasted a third of an inning coming in for Lucchesi. 3 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, gave up a dinger. And then because of that, Tommy Hunter comes in, who really should be well rested, but he did okay. But again, we were trying to, I guess, stretch him for longer. Buck wanted to use him for 3 innings. That 3rd inning comes back in. He gets absolutely popped, and he gives up 3 earned runs, a walk, gets 2 Ks, but another home run and gives up 4 hits over 2 2/3. Tommy Hunter isn't supposed to be a pitcher where you're using for 3 innings, but you're kind of forced to. Then you bring him in the 8th to kind of help you a little bit. Then Leon in the 9th there. He gives up 2 more runs. It's just like a bullpen you're stretching out. They're just way too thin right now because you have no starting pitching at all. And on top of that, a day where your bats look pretty decent. Huge day for Jeff McNeil yesterday. He went 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Beatty had 2 RBIs. Vogelback actually had an RBI and a hit. Who would have thought? Guillorme 2 for 4 with an RBI. Alvarez 1 for 3. You had guys hitting. You had the lead. I think it was the 5th inning. I forget when it was. It was the 4th where you took the lead. You were kind of down 3-1. Then all of a sudden it's 4-3. 5th inning comes around. Give up 7 runs in the 5th inning. Absolutely implode.
Sounds like the Yankees sixth inning from yesterday.
Literally. And again, you try to battle back. Like, Guillorme gets an RBI after that. Vogelback gets a home run after that. Try to get something going. But all these bullpen guys that have been stretched are tired, are not pitching well now. So it's like there's really nothing good here. You lose 2 out of 3 against Colorado. You now lost 11 out of your last 14 games. And you have a day off today, which is nice. But still, I mean, like, you're in Cincinnati Tuesday, right? You started a 3-game set against Cincinnati. And then you're back home, or you're on the road again with the Nationals. But it's just like, like Cincinnati, like Washington, like, sure, like we should do well against them. Like,
But
just like struggled against Colorado,
Yeah.
struggled against Detroit, struggled against Washington before that. Like, there's really nothing good. And it's like, oh, you know what, dude? Like, let's look at the pitching matchups. Wow, like Scherzer's starting tomorrow.
what's he gonna give
What's
you?
he gonna give you, dude? I mean, if he's not good against Cincinnati,
Injured list?
dude, you got to do something, because it's at that point, like, his, like, you're talking like career over, dude.
Yeah.
Like, if he shows no sign of life, I mean, there's gonna be nothing good there. But hey, man, I mean, again, like, you're looking. I know it's like off day today. Certainly got to think about, like, what the Mets need to do. One of which is, in terms of Scherzer, I mean, he just has to be dialed in. Verlander's pitching after him. So you'd imagine, let's, give him some more length in terms of pitch count. I think he had 79 pitches his first outing back. Let's stretch that out to like 90. Why not? Let's see what he can do. And I think he gave us like 5 good innings, after giving up 2 back-to-back home runs, I think in the first, settled down, whatever. But I mean, again, like, you talk about massive holes in the lineup. I mean, Alonso's gone pretty cold. Lindor's got, I think, like 26 RBIs, which is nice. But again, like, let's see some dingers out of him. The whole Vogelback thing is kind of trash now. I mean, it's so interesting watching his at-bats too, because he really does have a good eye at the plate. Like, he honestly, he's a good batter in terms of taking pitches, and not swinging at things that are way out of his realm. But he does strike out looking a lot, so I don't know, dude. And again, like, you saw the home run, that's great, I guess. But I mean, there's nothing good coming out of him. He's a liability. I feel like at the plate right now, he's a liability on like base running. Marte has done nothing for you this entire season either. Obviously, about Escobar not doing much. Really, Beatty should be, again, I know Beatty's had some, I guess, like, kerfuffles on defense, but nothing crazy. Personally, I think Beatty and Alvarez should be getting like reps every day. I don't want to see Tomas Nido starting, like, at all.
No reason.
There's really no reason.
Yeah.
You need to put someone out there who's competent in the outfield. Again, like, I talked about Mauricio in the minors here. Also, Mark Vientos has been going off in the minors too. Those are 2 guys you could bring up.
Yeah.
Throw in the outfield, put Beatty in the outfield, put Mauricio at third, throw McNeil in the outfield, put Vientos at second, like something, dude. Because your outfielders are not good. They're not good defensively. Nimmo is really the only one who's competent and has a decent bat. Like I said, Marte's been nowhere to be found at all, which sucks. Because again, like, you think of what the impact Marte had last season. I mean, he was a big power bat, So it was a really, like, demoralizing series against Colorado. But again, you try to stay positive, and like this series against Cincinnati, I mean, it really does start with your pitchers. It starts with your starters. It's got to be like, again, I just want to see Scherzer come out here with a 1-2-3 first inning.
Yeah.
Like,
and maybe hit like 94, 95.
And just have it like locating.
And he always had a good slider. I mean, how's that look? Flat?
Yeah, kind of. Again, it's always been good when he has his fastball, he mixes in his slider really well, and if like, it's kind of like if one didn't work, the other one kind of didn't work. Which has been it's just horrible. And it's just, I don't know if he has to change up his strategy too, because we see it a lot where he's trying to hammer the upper part of the strike zone and he's just getting hit.
Yeah.
So it's like, just try to do something else.
I just remember, him at his best, that slider, you think about on a right-handed batter, you try to hit it on a left outside corner, and then it tails out of the strike zone. No shot to hit it.
There's literally no shot to hit it, especially with like the late movement and everything. So again, we'll probably recap this series a bit more, but coming into it, you're expecting 2 out of 3, really, with Verlander and Senga, doing well. So
Where's Buck in all of this?
in terms of
like, what is he saying? Like post game?
I mean, Buck, he's like, he's very much about protecting the players to the media. And I'm sure a lot of what is said to the team, he wants to be kept, behind closed doors. So he's just like, oh yeah, just keep it good. He had some good pitches out there, got some trouble sort of deal, like we got to work on some things. Like he keeps it very vague and doesn't give the media a whole lot. So, which is good. I mean, I'm sure to protect the players is good. But I mean, I'm sure like, again, behind closed doors, I mean, there's certainly some conversations happening. I'm sure.
Is my mother giving more to this topic?
She says the Mets, your mother say, sounds similar to the Yankees.
I didn't approve that comment.
Maybe worse. She says, question mark. I don't think it's worse.
No, excuse me. I just thought that was kind of funny, but obviously, Mom, at the end of the day, not winning is not winning.
Right.
There's no better way to do it. So I think this is a big week coming up for both teams, and obviously the Mets get the day of rest today.
Thank God.
It's going to be so interesting to see, like you said, how Scherzer comes out tomorrow. But like if you had to you had to give an accurate idea of what that was going to look like tomorrow, what do you honestly think you're going to see?
Like 4 1/3, 4 earned runs, like 3 walks.
89
pitches?
No, 89
on the gun.
He's really throwing 89?
No, who said that?
I thought you said that. I'm not kidding.
No.
What is it reading?
I swear 93.
I swear we gotta go
fastball 89.
Yeah.
No,
I didn't think so, but I swear you said that last week.
No.
93, you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
94.
Yeah, like I swear we can get like Michael to like clip up last week you going, and he's throwing 89 up in the zone, and it's just getting hammered.
Really?
Must have been one of those days where you didn't get too much sleep.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I was gonna say that's like, I mean, you might as well just retire right now.
Looks like his 4-seamers hit 91, 92.
And how much is that down from last season?
Last season he was hitting consistently 95.
So there you go. That's it right there. But yeah, tomorrow I think is big, and not only like just for the fan, but for him. Confidence wise, if he has a good start, I mean, definitely, it definitely represents an opportunity. It's just a matter of if he's going to take advantage of it.
I know. And it just helps. Talk about his confidence, about like the team's confidence. I mean,
yeah.
How do you think the team, like the dugout, like again, like thinking like, all right, like this pitcher is not going to last us 5 innings, maybe.
Yeah.
Like we're like, again, like it's just an absolute like momentum killer. Like it's just nothing's good there.
Right.
It's just like toxic,
but
it's no good, dude.
Are you like, is there going to even, I know it's like pretty, like it seems like shooting for the sky here, but like, how do you think you're going to feel if tomorrow, 6 innings, 10 Ks, 3 hits, like, are you going to feel confident? Or are you like, I got to see this maybe 2 more times, like not maybe that level, but something pretty good before you're going to be a full believer again in Max Scherzer?
Yeah, definitely. Like a couple consistent starts is what you want out of him.
Yeah.
One good start against the Reds, like no.
Yeah.
But obviously, I want that to happen.
Starting point.
Yeah.
Starting point.
So it's good.
Yeah, it's tough to be beaten down at this part of the season.
Brutal,
both of us, feeling the same way. So much excitement going into the season, and
I know.
We're dealing with this.
So crazy, honestly, how much excitement and how highly touted these teams were.
Yeah. But I think, I last week I was talking, I think on Friday, actually, I was talking about the Cardinals, their record up to this point. You think about how the Padres imploded last night on Sunday Night Baseball, 1 out away from taking 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers. Hader gives up a home run to Mookie Betts. Then they end up losing in extra innings.
Brutal.
And this is after, the Dodgers could get nothing going offensively all night long. And they're 1 game over 500. And look at all the money that's on their payroll, all the talent on that team. And obviously, we're not going to feel whatever the local media there feels, whatever it is. But I don't know. I feel like they're not like completely freaking out. But also, they have to their advantage that nobody is running away with that division. And obviously the Yankees, don't have that same luxury. Of course, now with the 3 wild cards, you want to win the division, but it's like, I mean, the Yankees are going to have to have a month like the Rays did in April to even have a shot at that. So your back's against the wall, but as long as you just make sure that it doesn't get too out of control, that you eventually right the ship, you get into the postseason, then you worry about the rest. And wild card series aren't fun, as you know, but at the same time, you just get there, you worry about the rest later. And like we've been saying, it is early, but eventually we're not going to be able to say it's early. So the time
is now,
has
basically.
To be now.
I mean,
so
it's easy part of the Mets schedule. So
yeah, we'll see. So moving on here, talking about tonight, we talked about 7:05 here, the opening game between the Oakland A's and the New York Yankees, Nestor Cortez versus former Yankee JP Sears. Nestor, a little bloated numbers, but obviously I think 7 runs last start he gave up. So the ERA isn't, 4.91. It's not like he's been struggling all season, just had a bad start or two. Sears 0-2, 5.06. But like we said, Nestor, after a loss, great track record. And I think he takes it as his responsibility here to right this ship, the bad baseball the Yankees have played, the last couple of weeks, that he's going to be the catalyst. And I think he will. I think he can give them maybe 6 1/3, 8 strikeouts, no runs, maybe 5 hits and a walk. I think the offense will be hot out of the gate. I'm sure they've watched a lot of tape on how Sears has been struggling, what the other hitters have been doing around the league to get to him. And I expect them to get to them early. I wouldn't be surprised if Bader had another big game. I could see him hitting Sears pretty well here. So all of that being said, I think, by the 3rd inning, maybe it'll be 4-0 Yankees. And at the end of the day, I think finally a decisive victory, and almost like how yesterday should have been. I think it'll end up being like 8-1. And they're going to take game 1 of this series. And hopefully this finally is the turning point. And we talked about the importance of taking care of business against an Oakland A's team that's 8-27. And how about this? 8-27, but also 3-15 at home. I mean, we know about the sewer rats and the skunks and whatever they have going on over there. But that's pretty bad. So clearly they're not doing much right. Clearly this is the time, just like the Mets with the Reds tomorrow. So give me the Yankees here to take game 1. Nestor picking up his 4th victory of the season. Before you go, pick update. I think you were 2-1 on Friday. Me, a nice little 0-3 spot. So you've opened back up the 3-point lead that you had last week. So officially, if this will ever let me scroll down,
oh boy,
because I just updated this before, it is 34-31 your favor. What are you going with there?
Let's go, dude. Looking at the slate of games here, obviously we don't know Mets. I think I'm gonna go with the Diamondbacks today. Zach Gallen on the mound there for the Diamondbacks. Our guy, he's 4-1 on the season, 2.53 ERA. Got into a little bit of trouble against Texas his last time out. 5 innings, 3 earned runs, gave up 7 hits. But other than that, I mean, obviously he's been super squeaky clean. And in the past 3 starts before that, had double-digit strikeout games. Like he went 11, 11, and 12 strikeouts against Kansas City, against San Diego, and against Milwaukee. So you can see the strikeout capabilities here against a lineup like such that he'd be versing against Miami. I mean, you imagine he doesn't, run into much trouble there. And then on the mound for Miami, Braxton Garrett, young buck, 25-year-old from Miami here, kind of, started out pretty okay. But most recent start, Brian, against Atlanta, he lasted 4 1/3, gave up 14 hits, 11 earned runs. So, Brian,
I mean,
the evil laugh.
I mean, that's it's just, what are you doing?
I know that's tough, dude. That is really, gave up 4 home runs, like super tough outing. You would imagine maybe a little shaken up. Arizona, who's shown some power. Who's the dude? Christian Walker, the old dude, leading the team in home runs.
He's not that old. What is he? Probably 30. 31.
32.
All right.
He's leading the team in home runs and RBIs. 8 home runs, 26 RBIs, and then you have Corbin Carroll as well.
Your guy.
315 batting average, dude. Absolutely.
You don't see
slugging
that these
556. Yeah, really appreciate that. Again, I think they can definitely hit up on this guy. Give me Arizona here. I'm gonna say like 6-2.
There we go.
Let's go,
There we
Arizona.
I'm going to take the Pirates. They kind of burned me last week with the picks. They're really feeling it right now.
Ooh.
7-game losing streak. However, who else would you rather have on the hill than Mitch Keller if you're the Pirates
Love
here?
it.
Going against that is the weirdest thing ever. I was just looking at this, but I know he's going against Kyle Freeland.
Yeah.
No, but it's like the weirdest thing. I should show you this. They have like the wrong faces for and like pitcher listed. It's like the weirdest thing. I was just looking at MLB at Bat App, and now they have Seabold versus TBD in a picture of Shane Bieber, whose picture is also above for the game he's actually pitching. Oh, here we go. That's why it went to Tuesday. All right. I was going to say that. You don't usually see that out of MLB at bat. Usually they're pretty on the button.
Very
here.
true. Very
But
true.
anyway, Freeland going up against Keller. Keller 3-1, 3.32. Freeland 3-3, 3.76. But we know it's a matter of time before that ERA's 5. It's 6. It's 7. And I know, he gets the benefit of pitching away from Coors Field, but you're going to tell me that the Rockies coming off winning 2 out of 3 in New York, scoring all those runs, are going to come to Pittsburgh and then just keep it going? No way. That team is not good. The Pirates are a better team. We know that. Keller, I think, will deliver here.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice 6 innings, maybe 1 earned, 8 strikeouts. Andrew McCutcheon, 2 home runs, curtain call from the crowd there at PNC Park. Pirates, I'm going to say 5-2 over the Rockies.
Excuse me. Love it. My next pick here, I'm going to go with T-Bay, actually. They're still on the road here against Baltimore now. Shane McClanahan on the mound for them has not had a loss this season yet. He's 6-0, 2.03 ERA. Absolutely dealing. I think actually his last outing was Pittsburgh, 6 innings, 1 earned run, dude, 9 Ks. Chicago, 10 Ks, 6 innings, 2 earned runs. So consistently giving the team 6 innings here against Tampa Bay. I just feel like, I don't know. I think with McClanahan, I understand, Mountcastle and Rutschman and even Mullins too. The talent that the lineup of Baltimore has, but I think McClanahan will be just absolutely dialed in against a lineup like this, just absolutely dealing. And I say, I don't know, give me T-Bay here. Let's say 3-0.
I just can't wait for the bottom to fall out for the race. It's a matter of time. Enough.
Devils, dude.
Everything can't keep going right. Speaking of things
about the Devils
going right, nothing has been going right for either Kansas City Royals or the Chicago White Sox.
Oh, the White Sox.
But I love the advantage that the White Sox have here with Dylan Cease. And I understand the ERA is not good. I think he got hammered his last start. Whatever. Greinke, it's over. It's over for Greinke.
I don't know,
He's throwing 85 over the middle of the plate. Dylan Cease against this lineup. Are you kidding? I saw Lorenzo Cain retired over the weekend officially as a Royal. He was a part of those World Series team, the World Series champions. So that's a nice
Lorenzo
thing
Cain?
for him to come back. He played for the Brewers.
He played for the A's, maybe too. Was he on the A's?
He might have been. I know he was started with the Royals, but Brewers free agency after leaving. The Royals. But
I wouldn't doubt Zach Greinke here. He's sneaky, dude.
Yeah, so I'm going to say Cease, complete game shutout, 15 strikeouts, and I'm going to say Greinke, 2 1/3, 7 hits, 7 runs, no strikeouts, 3 walks, and I'm going to say the White Sox here 5-0 over the Kansas City Royals.
All right, dude. Last game here. We're going 3s, right?
Yep.
Always going 3s. Rangers Mariners. Logan Gilbert, dude. No, I'm gonna go with the Giants. Why not? They're at home against the Nats. Anthony DeSclafani, great guy, dude, pitching very well.
Met him at the network.
No, I did not. But it just has cool name, whatever.
Cool name,
dude.
yep.
How about JD Davis leading the Giants with home runs this season?
There you go.
Absolutely ridiculous. But I just think, come on, it's the Nats here. I don't even know who's pitching for the Nationals. Jake Irvin, young dude, has 1 start against the Cubs, 4 innings, 1 earned run. I just think the Giants, I understand, have been lacking in some offense, though, but I feel like their pitching for the most part has been really good. So I understand they're 3 games under 500, but I think just against the Nats here at home, to start this 3-game set with DeSclafani too will be a good foot forward there for the Giants. Give me a win here. I don't know, 5-2.
All right.
All right.
There we go, Tony. So
There we go. Just like that, baby.
Hope I'm talking about some great things tomorrow about the Yankees. That's for sure.
No, yeah, I hear that.
And then I'm expecting some renewed optimism for you starting that series in Cincinnati tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see.
Time will tell. Could we go to the golf course, Tony?
Oh, just like that, dude.
I can't believe, though, you guys couldn't even go to Tashua. I give you a task. Just get a little chip, little putts
I know,
in,
dude.
and then this and that, and
it was a busy weekend, dude.
busy weekend. But I thought you said it was chill.
Saturday we were up in Norwich.
You said it was chill.
Just because it was busy doesn't mean it wasn't chill.
What were you doing in Norwich?
Michael tracked down like this I guess you could say like a vintage shop thing. We went there, he bought a few things. As you can see, we rearranged some of the studio. Behind me is this bookcase and everything we filled in. So it was a little bit of a revampage of the studio, a little bit. So yeah, it was a nice time. Norwich is actually a really nice town.
Yeah.
I never really been through there and like actually look.
I don't know
around.
if you passed by it, but there's like some museum there. I had to go there from Eastern for like some field trip.
Wait, really? What kind of museum?
Some art museum, like statues and stuff. Obviously not my thing.
Right. Statues and stuff.
But Tony, great day today. I know there's gaming corner later. I saw that on the docket.
Oh yeah, buddy.
But you're telling me there's not a window. You sneak out, hit a bucket of balls, get the juices going.
Today, definitely not. Got to shoot after this. I don't even know where, but we have an Eat
You
Justice.
don't even know where the shoot is?
No,
And you
no.
have it?
Well, no, like I obviously we know. I don't know because
You don't know, like,
Renee's in charge of it, so it's like
Okay.
wherever.
Who is it for?
I just know when I have to leave.
You know who it's for?
Yeah, Eat Justice for Metcha.
Okay.
Yeah, so a couple of shoots for them.
Those are usually New Haven, no?
It depends. Sometimes they're all over the place.
Yeah.
And then I think we have. I don't know if it's back-to-back different shoots with them. It doesn't matter, but that shoot, then back here, set up for the gaming corner, do some editing. It's gonna be no go today, dude.
Tomorrow.
For sure. Tomorrow's gonna be a big oil change day. I get my oil change. So
While you're waiting for the car.
what do you mean while you wait? It's they fucking do it right
Where
there,
do you
Brian. Go to Valvoline and fucking buy
Valvoline.
chips.
Yeah.
Fairfield.
Yeah.
It's a good spot. They're friendly. They have good oil too, high grade, and they jack you right up. You're out, dude.
There you go.
Yeah,
There
so
you go.
it's efficient over there at Valvoline.
Your homework assignment for this week, I just want one range session. There's time. There's a window, okay? I know there is. Even though you're a busy guy, there's a window for 45 minutes.
No, yeah, maybe maybe Wednesday post Craigo.
There you go.
Because like Wednesday mornings are always so busy. Do a little like 2:00, hit the range for an hour.
Just get it done, Tony.
Yeah,
I mean, we got a nice outing coming up. I mean, you got to get going here.
You know what? I got to put my. You know what? I just got to throw my clubs in the car. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Do. Just keep them in the car. Just fucking dude.
Nothing better.
Yeah.
Speaking of golf, over the weekend, we had the Wells Fargo Championship. Wyndham Clark, his first career PGA Tour victory. Dramatic fashion here in terms of how well he played over the weekend. 67, 67, 63, 68. I believe he was 2 shots shy of their tournament record here at 19 under par. 4 shots clear of Xander Schauffele. And then the rest of the field, you had 12 under between English and Hatton. You had Fleetwood and Scott at 11 under. So pretty well ahead. You had a difficult track there at Quail Hollow. So nice to see him break through. I know, he's been going at it, a decent while here. And I was listening to PGA Tour radio, and it's just one of those things where one of his good friends was actually on the show, and he's saying, you look at a guy like Wyndham Clark, it took him 134 events to break through here to win his first tournament. He's turning 30 later this year. So it's like one of those things where, you get one victory, everything else kind of falls into place. They were referencing Tony Finau, Max Homa. a guy that maybe hasn't always been in the top 15, the top 20, whatever it is. Right now he's at 31, but has the ability. And I think once you get that confidence, the rest will fall into place. So I think it's a good story. A guy that didn't give up, 134 events. It's a lot of events to play to not get a win, to finally get one. And against, this was an elevated event, but probably had the least buzz out of all of them that we've seen. And we mentioned how, excuse me, geez.
You're right, dude.
How Rory, had won this event before, and the struggles continue. You think about the miscut, at the Players, the miscut at the Masters, and he was just completely buried on this leaderboard. Jeez.
Do you want some water, dude? I got some water here.
We got a last sip of coffee here. Anyway, even par, and 68, 73, 71, 72, struggling with the driving accuracy. So just coming into this season, the expectations he had, almost winning the Open Championship, winning the Tour Championship, people were expecting big things. He hasn't won. He hasn't competed in big events. So it's going to be interesting to see, what he brings in 2 weeks in Rochester. So I don't know what
you
it
think
is.
He brings momentum over, or
I don't know. I think, though, honestly, it's one of those things where golf, the momentum can change so quickly. You're telling me, Eagles number one, he birdies one, and then it kind of gets the juices going, and that's all he needs. He needs just a couple good holes in a row. So that'll be something interesting to keep an eye out for. In between now and the PGA, we got one more tournament here, the AT&T Byron Nelson, KH Lee, who's actually won the last two Byron Nelsons, edged out Jordan Spieth last year. This field, not an elevated event. And he was, he would be the 10th golfer ever if KH Lee could go three-peat here to win 3 straight tournaments. And the most recent was Steve Stricker, John Deere, 2009, 2011.
No shit. So it's been well over a decade.
Oh, yeah. And you look at this field, Scheffler's playing, Spieth, was runner-up at this tournament last year. He's in the field. He got Matsuyama. Minwoo Lee is back. We've seen him, have some good runs. He's looking to earn special temporary membership. So definitely some stories here for sure.
Are we doing the three-peat or yeah?
Well, we'll find out on Wednesday, huh? We don't want to, count the chickens before they hatch, Tony.
Wow, dude.
So just a good warm-up tournament, especially a guy like Jordan Spieth here. The only tournament he hasn't won to complete the career Grand Slam is the PGA. So who knows? A decent showing here, could propel him a long way. But I'm definitely getting excited for the PGA. Nothing like major championship golf, and especially round 2 here with the live guys. Is Phil and Brooks, are they going to be at the top? Do we get anything out of Cam Smith and DJ? So many questions, but Byron Nelson, a good warm-up here at TPC Craig Ranch. We will give our full preview on Wednesday. But for now, let's go to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here's Matthews. Scores! Hat-trick goal!
My goodness, this is a great shot. Big hit on the far side by Makar. He flattens Jordan's skull. Oh my goodness. That's the gun right back. Terrifying and robbed by Shesterkin. That's brilliant from Igor Shesterkin. It's a breakaway to win it in overtime. McDavid scores the winner in overtime.
All right. So
another power play goal.
It really is a shame, Tony. Imagine just how much different we'd feel right now. All the disappointing baseball stuff, but if the Rangers were in the midst of a run, how much different the vibe would be.
It'd be night and day, dude.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
definitely be wearing my jersey right now.
Not what we have.
Not wearing it now.
Chokery, though, is the beneficiary of that. Fortunately, we were watching part of this game yesterday together. Hurricanes had gone up 2-0 against the Devils. Devils return home, make a statement, and take care of the Hurricanes here 8-4, including jumping out to a 3-0 lead. I believe it was 5-0 at one point. Bunch of fights, penalties.
Yeah, dude.
So, they do answer back here, but, as we know, tomorrow, just got to, you win that game in New Jersey. I mean, you're in pretty good shape here. Vanacek was back in net for this one, 26-30. But obviously, I mean, you look at the goals that the Hurricanes got. I mean, 2 in the second, 2 in the third. Game was already out of reach, so it'll be interesting to see they stay with Vanacek here. But obviously just, I mean, it's crazy how one game makes such a difference, but the Hurricanes won this one series over. Devils win this one. Now they're one game away from really being back into it, which is interesting. It'd be interesting to see too, what the Hurricane, we talk about what the Devils are doing with goalie. What are the Hurricanes going to do here? Kochkinov came in relief for Anderson, who let up 4 goals on 12 shots, and he let up 4 goals on 22 shots. So be interesting to see kind of what the answer is here.
Ranta.
Joe Greer is a big advocate of Kochkinov, though. Kind of sick of Anderson, kind of sick of Ranta. Michael, would you say this is like the fake hype for Michael here?
Yeah,
I know you like to make that call.
Definitely, dude. He sounds familiar at Rangers fans, LOL. And then he says, "What will you say when we win the cup?" Nothing in all caps.
Pretty advantageous there, no?
Advantageous
of Michael, like to say, "Oh, when we win the cup, I mean, you won one game here in the second round. Let's relax." But,
yeah, and also like, I mean, dude, I watched this game yesterday.
I'm sure he did, right?
Did
Start
he
to finish?
watch this game yesterday? Yeah, I watched every minute of this game. Actually, it was on the TV while I was cleaning my apartment. So what say you, Michael? Oh, Chokri, by the way, Canes in 6, he says.
I'll do it one step further, Chokri. Canes in 5. How about that? I think,
wow.
Devils, little cup of coffee, nice story, younger team. But as Michael says, I like to quote him, just not their time. They'll have their time, but not their time. But Chokri was saying, he was pre to post.
Michael's is pre to post.
Yeah. Sounds about right. But Joker was saying yesterday, I mean, how impressive Jack Hughes is, though, in all seriousness. Tony.
Unbelievable, dude.
The speed is ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
The first goal he had, he's behind the net, he passes it out, he gets it in the corner. And I think he had, was it 5 games he hadn't scored in before yesterday?
Yeah. And then how about his brother Luke on the defense? 2 assists yesterday.
There you go.
Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I honestly, like, I don't know, dude. Again, I watched this game yesterday, and you got to tip your hat, obviously, to the Devils, because again, I mean, very similar situation against the series they had, with the Rangers, where the first 2 games they drop and they make a massive adjustment for game 3. The Devils do this great job of really swarming an offense. When they try to enter the neutral zone, it really disrupts. Really anything to try to get going, like imagine like you're taking a few steps in basketball and you're just getting beat up hard, and to do it really well, mind you, this is what the Devils do because they're all super fast. I talked about maybe them being a little bit fatigued from how deep they've been going into the season, how much playing time everyone's had. Again, they didn't really seem fatigued yesterday. They were all quick. They never really stopped. Their forecheck was so good. Again, someone dumps in the puck. There's 3 guys chasing it. The 3 forwards are chasing the puck. And they win these little battles against the boards. Just these little one-on-one battles against Carolina. And then all of a sudden they just have possession and they're just kind of really dealing right now. And you mentioned how physical it gets. Carolina, we know they have a great defense. Physicality is one of their better aspects of their game that really beats down an offense. I think they out-hit the Devils like 44-36, whatever it was. But you saw the Devils like really not take any shit and kind of answer back. You saw Jack Hughes, get into a really like physical altercation with Sebastian Aho. Both of them served penalties for it too, I believe. And it was just like, typical like Sebastian Aho get a little slash, Jack Hughes will cross check back to him. While they're in front of the net. Play at that point gets so far down the ice, and you just hear, oh, looks like these two are going at it, and you just see Hughes and Aho just literally like just wailing on each other. Refs break them up. They're having words and shit. Like you got to give it to the to the Devils, for being such a youthful team in this spot against a team like the Hurricanes who've been here before. kind of not backing down, not taking any shit, playing physical, playing quick. Scoring 8 goals is absolutely ridiculous too on Carolina. The way they've been just breaking down Carolina's defense. Devils just had it yesterday. It honestly, for me, I think it's tough to say Hurricanes in 5 or even Hurricanes in 6. If the Devils keep playing like this, and then of course, like seemingly their starting goalie thing doesn't really affect their play at all. Really, no matter who they have in there, it seems like that they do well enough. If I had to guess, though, if I had to pick, I would still pick Schmidt. I think when you really look at Vanacek's games, of course, the first 2 against the Rangers, we gave up 10 goals collectively. Yesterday, he still gave up 4 goals, So, we'll see, dude. We'll see. But I mean, I think it's going to be still a hard fought series. We'll see if Carolina can have some type of answer here, because they again, like, they're just getting suffocated and they just didn't have much offense, and the Devils were keeping that up consistently. And on top of that, their offense was going really well. So, we'll see. As Michael says, ha 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 Barnes, and says, ha ha, aw, Tony, you wish it was the Rangers.
Don't even sweat it, Tony.
I don't even know why he's talking right now, honestly, this guy, dude.
No, I'm telling you.
Prefer over here.
Yeah, and also the whole goalie, the flip, the flop, and I know both teams are doing it here.
Crazy, dude.
Eventually it catches up. I'm telling you, you can't keep doing it.
I know, yeah.
I kind of feel like the Hurricanes are going to go with Kochkinov. That's just my kind of guess here. Devils in 6, of course. They're so good. They're never going to lose again. I feel like I'm talking to Stacks.
Austin Mercer, Michael, 3 assists yesterday.
He saw every one of them.
I did see. Well, he saw
every one of them.
He did.
Anyway, Tony. So, it was a busy day. Other than that, too, the Kraken big 7-1 over the Stars.
7-2.
7-2. So they come out firing 5 goals in the second there. So take that 2-1 lead. That was big for them. Grubauer, really, what a story too. It seemed like he was, Martin Jones was kind of the starter for the beginning of the year. He kind of sees that roll back. So that's big for them. They look to obviously advance to their first conference final in franchise history. And then here we go again with the Maple Leafs, the good story. They take care of business finally in the first round over the 3-time defending Eastern Conference champions, and then lose a heartbreaker in overtime to the Panthers here. So, I mean, you have to imagine. I know we've seen it before in hockey. I understand it, but 3-0 down at this point, you have to imagine that it's over. And Reinhart there, the game winner in OT. This is a game that midway through the second, basically, the Maple Leafs led 2-1. Verhaeghe the answer, no goals in the third, and then you get that little over halfway through the overtime there to put the nail in the coffin. Let's say they go out, lose game 4, get swept. Are big changes on the horizon, Tony, or is it more of like a coach change than a personnel change?
No, it has to be big changes here. Again, like, it's great what the Panthers are doing. Cinderella run, you love to see that. For me personally, I was rooting for the Maple Leafs. I still am rooting for the Maple Leafs. But watching this game, again, first of all, yesterday, by the way, the triple header on TNT hockey, fucking outrageous. By the way. Like, all day long, you just have hockey rolling on it. But anyway, Toronto here, I think one of their biggest issues, one of their biggest problems is that their top guys are just not showing up, I mean, again, you look at the box score for this game yesterday. Yeah, they scored 2 goals. It was a tight game, went to overtime. How good Bobrovsky's been going for the playoffs. But, I mean, you have a goal. I think Sam Lafferty had a goal. And then what defenseman? Gustafsson. Yeah. Eric Gustafsson had the other goal for Toronto. I mean, the pool of talent that the Maple Leafs have.
And there he is,
Mr. Devil himself.
Mr. Bulbasaur.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Brian remembered. No, he doesn't. But anyway, you think.
You want to just hear what you had to say?
You think of like the talent pool that the Maple Leafs have. We know the suspects here. It's Matthews, Tavares, Bunting, Mitch Marner, even Nylander has been having a ridiculous series too. Like he's been, he's having a lot of chances here, but there's absolutely nothing to show for it. And Michael Bunting, like obviously nothing on the score sheet, 2 shots on goal. Matthews, 2 shots on goal, -1 on the ice. Same thing with Nylander. He had an assist on 1 goal, but then Tavares, 2 shots on goal, -1 on the ice.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do? And honestly, like Florida is playing such a simple game too. Again, it's like it's all about like they're just playing tough physical hockey. They know their strong suits of Toronto. They're playing physical against those guys. Toronto has no answer for the Kachuk line, seemingly. It's like kind of ridiculous that Maple Leafs are clinging to their 4th line to generate some offense. Like, I mean, they need bodies to show up. It's just an absolute choke fest, I think, for the Maple Leaf Stars in the postseason. It's not even necessarily about coaching. I don't think it's about these players not showing up. Like,
yeah.
What are we doing? It's 3 games in a row now. These guys have been silent. Like, that's not right.
Shows the toughness of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and we have a couple comments here.
We do. Oh wow, Jay Bird coming in hot here. But we'll start with Chokery. Feel Canes will go with Tony, a fave goalie. LOL. Ronta, baby. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Like, you got it, dude.
Oh man, that never gets old. Honestly.
Jay Bird says the Kraken are too fast. They can flip a game like that. He says. Jay Bird says plant daddy Mike. Jay Bird says I missed my plants. Tony, can you water them on Wednesday a.m.?
He's gonna be at the driving range
in the morning. Wednesday in the morning will not be the driving range.
I
Yes,
think they open at 6.
You know what, Jack? I can water
Jay,
the plants.
how about this, Jay?
Dude.
Can you when is Jay back?
Oh Jesus, next month, a week from today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But whatever. But Jay, when you're back and like not traveling, make sure Tony gets to the driving range once a week. All right. I trust in you. I think you can get him there. Get the clubs in the car. No excuse. All right. So I know you can handle it.
Oh, what do you say? You just hit hard faces.
I think that was just about the plants.
Yeah, about the plants, dude. I water the plants.
What
do you think Florida takes it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on.
I know.
He says Fax Barn, so he knows it. But yeah, it's over. You don't get down 3-0, and then all of a sudden you have this like shot in the arm. Okay, I know we've seen it a couple of times. 99% of the time, it doesn't happen. And then it was funny. I was having a good laugh with Choker yesterday because we were talking about the Oilers and how good McDavid is and your skepticism over the Oilers and stuff. And he was just saying how, he literally is like Wayne Gretzky, McDavid. It's unbelievable. He saw him live. I don't know. I think he scored a couple of goals. And I would just tell him how you don't want him to be on the Rangers. And I mean, especially after the way this season went, Tony, how could you not?
Do you think the Rangers are
I'll trade everybody? I don't care. I mean, who do we need at this point?
That's no good. That's not
good.
I'm
saying, who has to be here? Who deserves to be here after losing in the first round this year?
Honestly. Oh my gosh! I mean,
if you back,
obviously, Ego deserves to be here. Chris, I mean, again, like our usual guys deserve to be here. Like Zibanejad deserves to be here. Chris Kreider deserves to be here. I would argue Panarin does too. I just think that again, there was many different factors. Obviously, I mean, if you want to get into it, we can talk about Gallant being fired and everything,
which is good.
Yes, no, which was good.
Schedule about Quenneville coming in though.
So far, what I heard, Chris Drury, no Quenneville.
Oh, okay. And who's the lead dog?
Don't know.
Okay.
Don't know. Don't have any lead dogs yet.
What about tight? No tight dogs.
No. Again, as far as I know, like I was reading this article. I think the Post had put out there. But definitely no Quenneville. There was someone who I thought they were going to interview who was like kind of in the running. I forget who it was, but it wasn't like anyone's names like popping off the page. But I think getting rid of Gallant, I think was the right move. Again, I think it was kind of really a combination of why we lost, which was obviously guys not showing up, but then also like Gallant's lack of adaptability. Which I think we've seen in the past, which is maybe why he doesn't do well necessarily in the postseason. I mean,
or stay places long.
Right, or stay places long. But when you really look at him, I mean, he is a great players coach. I mean, his regular season record is good.
X's and O's, though.
I know the X's and O's is what he's lacking. And then of course, like I always thought it was kind of weird how he never how he always talked about him not being like the hype up speech guy. I feel like sometimes yes, I mean. I love that he's like, that's up to the play. Like the players do that. Like I love that too. And the players that have themselves up. There's a huge part, but also like every so often, like the coach got to come in there and be like,
I'm telling you, St.
like
Louis.
this is.
I think behind closed doors, Drury's already working on it.
Really.
Players,
I could see it. Yeah, I'm
he's
sure
been
he
there.
is,
He knows
dude.
what it takes to win. That's what you need. Gallant doesn't know.
I know.
This whole group of Rangers, unfortunately, at this point, does not know.
I would be interested to see what his thoughts are, like being with Montreal and everything.
Yeah, but I just feel like, why would he not? You know, the Rangers, it was a nice
I know.
run, the end of his career, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's just kind of what comes to mind. I know it's like we always say with these hockey coaches. I just don't want some, oh yeah, we grabbed the Colorado assistant. Like, no,
Right.
I want someone established.
I honestly, I'm almost thinking like not necessarily like maybe having like a retired player like St. Louis who's not necessarily established yet.
Yeah.
Obviously has some experience. But like why can't, like again, like honestly, a name that comes to mind is like a Ryan McDonough.
Yeah.
Like first time head coach.
He just retired?
like 2 years ago.
Wait, but who's the guy in the Lightning last year? Who am I thinking of? He used to be on the Rangers. Is that Ryan McDonough?
If McDonough retired last year, then yes.
No, he was playing last year against the Rangers.
Yeah.
So he retired after the season?
I think it was either last year or 2 seasons ago.
No, because
That
he
he
played
retired.
last year.
He definitely did.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of curious. I think he played this year.
No, McDonough didn't play this year. I'm pretty sure he retired after the last season.
He's on the Nashville Predators.
What?
Yeah. I knew it because I knew I was like surprised that they traded him because I saw them interview him before the game. And
I
yeah,
thought he ended up retiring.
33 years old. I mean, he's not that old.
I still thought he retired.
So I guess he
mean,
can't coach.
Yeah, I guess not. That kind of sucks.
Sean Avery,
I don't think he's really the guy you want on the bench.
Hank,
Yeah, I could see Lundqvist, but again, like, I don't know.
have John Giannone be his assistant.
Yeah, dude.
Bill Pito.
Let's just get the whole broadcasting crew in there. Yes, hello, Michael. Elbow in the shot.
Gretzky, another shot? No.
It must suck to have to be searching for a coach instead of playing in the
Oh
second
boy.
round.
It was a good move. It was a good move.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. I think at the end of the day, I think it was a good move. I mean, I think a lot of, Chris Drury had to do something too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of what he has done too is in question. Because was really bringing in those stars like Kane and Tarasenko. Was that really like the right move? Again, it was interesting the chemistry that kind of came about from the team.
But I don't think it's on him. I think it's about Gallant, the players. I'm looking at this thing. They list 6 guys here. Bruce Boudreau.
Okay. That was the guy who just got canned by the Vancouver Canucks.
Washington, Anaheim, Minnesota, and Vancouver. Yep. Chris Knobloch. I guess no relation to Chuck.
That name sounds familiar, maybe because of Chuck, though.
He's been an assistant, hasn't been a full-time head coach. Peter Lavalte, 20-plus year head coach, was in Nashville. And then he just got fired from Washington. They mentioned Quenneville, Mike Sullivan, but they're saying that he might be on the outs in Pittsburgh. That's interesting. But
that is interesting.
Because maybe, you can still be, you see that all the time. Coaches are good, but message in a certain place gets stale. Maybe that's what's happening there. Obviously, players older as well. And then Daryl Sutter. He followed Quenneville in Chicago and won with the Kings in 2012 and 2014.
Wow.
Any of those that you're really feeling? Sullivan?
Sullivan, I like Boudreau, too. Boudreau had a very interesting, because obviously the Canucks didn't do well this season.
Right.
But all the players and the entire fan base were super upset that he got canned and didn't like it. So he seems like he was a very beloved coach there. So maybe we can see that again. You're talking about I'd have to go dive deep more into that story and his track record. Sullivan, obviously, his track record. Sutter over there, beating the Rangers in the Cup final with the Kings. I guess that's kind of good, but I don't know, dude. It's just such I suppose, that's great because the way the Kings played back then are kind of like the way the Rangers are playing now, I suppose. So that could be good. So you narrow it down to 3 guys right there. Pretty solid.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd be interested to see how a Sullivan would work.
Yeah.
Because again, you look at what I don't know. I think it's another question where you kind of another guy you question adaptability. Because I mean he's really rolling with the same 3-guy core forever. You know?
Right.
And yeah, had success with it, but I mean he's gonna become the Rangers, and you don't have an Evgeny Malkin.
Right.
You don't have anyone on the Rangers who's like Evgeny Malkin
until you get Connor McDavid. Speaking of Oilers, Golden Knights, I'm guessing you're saying the Golden Knights go up 2-1 tonight.
Yeah, dude. I do think so. And again, I've been saying this a lot.
A lot of offense in the series.
A lot of offense in the series. As typical any series with Edmonton, they rely solely on their offense. That's great. That's totally fine. It works for them. Vegas have to do one simple thing, which is stay out of the penalty box. I think that the last game, Edmonton was maybe 2 for 4 or 3 for 6 on power plays. I think they had 3 power play goals, and like 2 of them were from McDavid, 1 from Dry. You can't have Edmonton on the power play, especially if you give them 6 opportunities. You know, fucking tired you're gonna be getting. Like chasing Connor McDavid 5-on-5 is tough enough. Chasing him around down a man is for 2 minutes at a time, 6 times. It's 12 minutes. It's more than half a period.
Yeah.
Where you're down a man against a team like the Oilers. You're going to get tired. Not to mention, they're going to score. Like their power play is so silky smooth. And it's just like they know the talent they have. They know what they need to do. And it's just X's and O's plays for them, the power play. And it's just a tic-tac-toe, crispy passing, goal, easy. You see it so often. You have to stay out of the penalty box. Cannot give Edmonton all these penalty opportunities. That being said, if you just kind of hammer them 5-on-5, they're gonna fold. You're gonna get the Skinner. It's gonna be a good time for the Oilers, for the Knights rather. So that's really that's your basic blueprint, dude. Stay out of the penalty box.
Yeah,
just fun hockey.
I'm gonna say 8-4 Oilers over the Knights tonight. McDavid hat trick.
I'll say 5-2.
Nice. Only hockey game tonight.
I know.
Preferred chirping, talking about game quarter tonight, which we mentioned.
He's hyped
laughed and cheered when the Rays won. So prefers back. He's fading me again. Yankees, that they're gonna lose to the A's. Dude, the Rockies will win, that the Royals will win. So it's definitely prefers back.
It's Mike commenting in the corner.
Yeah,
right
actually,
now,
that is definitely Mike. Yeah, he's trying to say, oh, he can find out who it is. He can find himself. Yeah. So I mean, that's not that hard. But yeah, and then Lakers are back tonight. Big win over the weekend against the Warriors. They're gonna go up 3-1 at home. Kim Kardashian was in the game. We know all that stuff. So 127-97. So a great win there.
Warriors, Lakers.
The Warriors made a little run there at the end of the first half.
No one cares.
Lakers put them away. LeBron's gonna win. I said it in the group chat. It's gonna be Lakers Celtics. Lakers are gonna win. LeBron's
it's so funny because this was Saturday night they won this game.
Yeah.
I think Friday night Mike was saying like, oh man, like Lakers lose and be like so hyped, like Golden State would tell Brian, and then like the opposite happened the next morning.
And then he sends like a haha text after I say about the win, and then I mentioned the thing with the Celtics.
Yeah.
Doesn't answer, it's a little tight. Then he goes to the Devils as a deflection. So we know it. But other than that, Tony, and the Knicks, I think will even up the series tonight, by the way, in Miami. But other than that, anything else besides game and quarter tonight?
Game and quarter tonight? Nope, that's it, dude. That's it.
Let's go.
So gotta go.
Great Monday. Gotta go. Don't have another
Renee's
second. But appreciate everybody tuning in, continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. All the archives, Tony, Michael, Renee in costume, well as the merch, downtowntv.com. Want everybody to enjoy this wonderful day. Let's go Yankees, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.